Hey everybody, welcome to Medling World. This is our MSC Seashore, what we liked, what we didn't like, and then some comparisons with some recent cruises. So come on in, check it out. All right guys, so this is our what we liked, what we didn't like about our recent cruise on MSC Seashore.
Yeah.
So what we do is Roberta and I, we just have an open discussion about what I just said, what we liked and didn't like. Then we compare to some recent cruises. And it's not really a list, so to speak. It's just more of a conversation.
Yeah.
And please, if it's the first time watching, take a moment, subscribe to Medling World if you haven't yet. Yeah. We have a very unique way of how we vlog our cruises and how we review our cruises. Yes. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Roberta, she really loves to take control of these conversations. Everybody loves to listen to Roberta. Lots of the comments, more Roberta, more Roberta. So Roberta, why don't you go ahead and start it right off?
Why don't we start with the embarkation day?
Yeah, let's do it. How was the embarkation process?
Long line.
Yeah.
So let's start with that because, as you know, when you first watch our video, the first thing they see it is the long line.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a little bit of, I think, a mixture between the check-in process and why we believe that it's like that. It's very late check-out for the cruise from before.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think
yes,
that
yes.
interfere a little bit, especially if you have an early check-in.
It does, yeah,
So
absolutely.
because it takes so long for people to get out, which we're going to talk about embarkation at one point.
Yeah.
So I think it is, if you see long lines and if you have a difficulty with lines, there is a couple seating areas
there is, yeah.
So take turns maybe.
Yeah,
but the line, is not okay. I think MSC needs to find
they got to do a better job.
a better way to control that. But after you get through the security, it was smooth. It was fast.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and everybody, the customer service, as soon as you walk in there, was great.
It was very good.
So
very
I think
good.
that the first impression of the line kind of like, come on. But then after that, I think the process became a lot.
That was a negative, yeah.
Yes, that was a big negative. But after after security, everything was just smooth.
Like you said too, the most frustrating part about it is nobody really knows where to go. There's no organization outside.
Yes.
And as you said, right, Roberta, I think that the latest, you're disembarking at like 10:30.
It was 10:30.
And then I think the first check-in is around 11. So there's not a lot of time.
It's a very small window between the,
And everybody has to be off that ship. So all of a sudden it starts to back up.
Correct.
And they're not strict about their port arrival times and check-in times. So everybody's kind of showing up. So you can do that. They're not against it. One other important thing, if you are a yacht club, this is something important. There's no signage saying go to the front of the line, but when you kind of go in, you'll see this long line. Go to the right and just keep walking down. There's a separate area for yacht club. They have priority boarding.
Correct.
So it's two separate lines.
Yes.
Which there was no indication of that.
Correct.
And that's also where you can check your luggage if you want and things like that. So it was just kind of a long process. But as you said, Roberta, I think once we got through the security part, it was nice and easy and smooth.
It was nice and easy, yeah.
So definitely a negative for me was embarking the ship. It took away kind of like
that excitement.
Yeah, like, it just was not smooth at the beginning. And then it got better. So we were, and then he had another line though, remember?
Yes.
To get back onto to get on the ship. So another kind of check.
It was a small line, but it was just...
Yeah, because then you're like, okay, I got through that, and then another line.
Because then they check it again when you go in.
So lines are part of cruising. You have to have patience, but it was a little bit, out of all the cruises, it was probably the worst.
The worst one.
So that was definitely a negative.
Yes. But then when you walk it into the ship, oh my God.
Well, maybe we just get right into our first impressions of the ship.
Yes. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous.
It really is.
When it's like when you first walk in and you see all that glass and the staircase, it was just.
Well, they do have you enter in a beautiful area because you're kind of with that big atrium area.
Yes.
This ship does have an atrium, even though it's a new ship. But the way that they designed the ship is great because it's not like this. it's kind of like a central area where you can kind of look down and have this big bar that comes all the way up, and there's levels of it with different entertainment. There's
and they put live music right on top of the bar, which is really neat.
It was really nice, and it was just a nice area where you could go. There was always something going on there, actually, throughout most of the whole entire day.
Yes, and talking about that, what I think it was good, it was every level had a bar, a seating area. So
good point. This is why Roberta's the best at these.
So it was, even if you wanna enjoy the music or you wanna enjoy a bar, you have bar in every level.
Yeah.
You have seating in every level, so you don't feel like you're crowded. And even when you have like entertainment at night and the party, I think that you don't feel like you feel like you can enjoy in any part.
Well, that was a great part about it, is you could go to any of the levels. Yes. If you wanted to be right there, you know, you could go all the way to, I think it was deck 5, but you could go all the way, I think it was
5, yeah.
There was several decks.
7, 8, yeah.
And you could go to any of them and see what was going on.
Yes.
And that was true, Roberta. That's a good point. There was a lot of lounges, a lot of bars on this ship.
Correct.
Everywhere you went, you didn't have to walk far if you wanted to just relax, watch some entertainment, some music, have a drink.
Yes.
I'm telling you, the ship is beautiful.
Yes.
That's the one positive thing is the ship is a gorgeous, it's elegant, it's luxurious. You feel like, what's the saying? You feel like $1 million or something. You feel so like, wow, it's just a happy. Correct, and it's got a beautiful theming of kind of like a New York.
Yes.
And for us personally, living in Connecticut for so many years, it's a lot of memories of visiting the city and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool.
So it was good energy in the ship.
Yes.
What else, Roberta? What would you like to get into next?
I think we got into our room, which was a very positive thing, because even when we got to the check-in, he says, we decided to bring our own luggage. So you have the choice of you can drop it off or you bring your own luggage inside. So when we did the check-in, he says, even if your room is not ready, he says, you can bring your luggage all the way there.
That's right.
And you can leave your luggage in there. So when we got there, the room was ready, but we did have late check-in. So
by the time we got on the ship, it was around 1, I think.
Can't remember exactly right now, but so the room was ready, and we could just leave our luggage in there, and and the room was beautiful.
It was a great room,
but we have like specific room tour and review
separate
for that.
vlog.
But the room was beautiful.
If you want to know a lot more about the stateroom and our experience, we have a separate vlog. So
I'm gonna put a link.
But it was a plus. Yeah. Everything about the stateroom, the balcony
was plus.
I get into a lot of detail, especially
about location.
If you're staying overnight at Ocean Key and everything. So check that vlog out, all about the room and how to really utilize and picking a room for that ship.
Yes.
But I thought just a tip, right? If you're able to bring your own luggage on, if you don't mind. It's just so much. Yeah, you kind of have to bring it with you, but you can bring it right to your room. Then you don't have to wait for it, which was great, right? Because then you can go to your room if you want to change or go swimming or you're going to dinner. Yeah. You're not running down the hallway looking for luggage.
Yeah.
So we've started doing that the last several cruises. Yes. And what we do, right? We bring one big luggage, one carry-on, and a backpack. Yeah. That's pretty much our normal. And what we realize, right? Yeah. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, 5, or 7 nights, it's always the same bags.
Same bags, yeah.
So it's just kind of how it works.
Yes.
So that was, I think, a positive was being able to drop your luggage off.
Yeah.
And then, okay, even if the room's not ready, I don't have to worry anymore.
Correct. So, and going to the room. So here comes a very, very negative.
Go for it.
Oh, MSC Seashore. The elevators.
Elevators were very bad.
The elevators. It's just.
Now, listen, I know what you're saying. Oh, you're on a cruise ship. Listen, we've been on enough cruises to know, yes, you have to wait.
Correct.
At certain times of the day when it's busy, you always have to wait for elevators on cruise ships. But this was extreme. Like, the setup is supposed to be a smart elevator. Go ahead, Roberta.
It's supposed to be a smart elevator. So I guess you press the... Because over here we have a Coronado Springs, we have also smart elevator.
There's several resorts locally that have it, and they work well.
Yes, they work well. But probably because the amount of people checking in or the amount of people checking out, or what you get out of the show, or, situations when you have big crowds. So I think that it's a smart elevator, so you press deck.
You press the deck of where you want to go. Not upper, you just press the deck.
And then it's going to tell you what elevator is supposed to go.
A, B, C, D, whatever it is.
So, but then again, if you were especially trying to, you're in a middle floor, for example, your deck 8 floor. I keep saying floor. Stay in a resort here. So, sorry, our light just changed colors.
That's okay. You get a new color now.
A new color. So, deck 8 or 7, and you're trying to go up. If it's a lot of people coming up, then it's always full, even though you're supposed to get that elevator, but then it's full, then you have to click it again, you know.
It was not a smart elevator at all.
So talking about that, what happened is if you're checking in with a lot of people that have a lot of luggage, well, a lot of people do need the elevators for, you know, accessibility.
Yeah.
So it's hard to trying to get the elevator.
Yeah, it was.
With luggages, or, you know, if you have like kids, you know, a lot of family members.
Right.
So together, it's a little bit complicated. So
So my suggestion is we're gonna lose that light anyway. It wasn't not working well.
Yeah.
So hey, this is how we vlog, guys.
So I don't know
we'll just slide this light. If the lighting looks a little different, one of our lights burnt out, one of our background lights, so we're kind of short on a light. But I think it's okay. It'll be fine. Yeah. And Roberta, you were discussing the elevators.
The elevators,
definitely a negative.
Yeah. Some people like did recommend the aft elevator.
Yeah, the aft was better choice.
It's a better choice because there is a lot less people there.
Yeah.
So if you are closer there, maybe trying to use that. But it's also only 2 elevators in the back, and also they are smart elevators.
They are.
And they only work from like the 8
to like
to the pool deck. Yeah. So
yeah, I forgot the bad luck number on. It's 17.
17 over there.
Yeah, so I think it was 8 through 16 maybe.
Yeah.
But they were nicer too, because they were the glass ones and you could view out the aft.
Correct, which was really nice.
So if you're in the aft, I suggest using those.
Yeah.
The forward elevator is not great.
No. So
a negative, definitely a negative.
A negative for that. I think besides that, in terms of like a mustard drill.
The mustard drill.
Very easy, I think. But
yeah, I've heard a lot of people complain about the mustard drill on MSC. I thought it was convenient, really.
Yeah, we didn't have it. No, you just go to the room. But we already knew because of the Meraviglia.
Actually, we were used to it, yeah.
If you haven't watched Meraviglia.
By the way, this is our second MSC cruise. The first one was
very different different experience.
This is much more improved.
Yes.
But the mustard drill, Roberta, yeah, I would say this is a good time where we can compare things. Yeah. I think Royal right now has the best out of our experiences. We just kind of, you watch a video on your phone, they scan, you think, okay, have a nice day.
So Meraviglia, the only difference, you have to watch in a room because everybody has to watch, but you have to wait until they call your deck.
That's right.
So you can
watch it on your TV in the room.
Correct.
Then you call a number and it says, okay, you completed it, now wait for your deck. So it's a little bit longer of a process, but we utilize that time to kind of like get ready. We put on we got ready to go. All right, let's go swimming. Then we'll go do this.
And comparing as well. I'm sorry, I love Disney, but Disney has
Disney has the worst out of all of them.
So
because they went back to their old style where you have to wait for everybody to arrive at a certain place at a certain time. The Disney mustard drill is by far the worst out of any cruise we've been on.
So I think Royal's still.
Royal's my favorite so far.
Yes.
Oh, another thing too, during the mustard drill, no food, no bars.
No bars, yes.
You can go into,
food, no bars, yes.
If you wanted a drink, you could go into and get the free included drinks. Well, I don't want to say free, but the ones that are included with your cruise fare.
Correct.
You could use like the juice stations and the coffees.
Yeah, but no bar.
No like specialty restaurants, no bar service.
Yes.
You have to wait. It's like a 45-minute process.
Yes.
So
that's very similar with Disney as well.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a negative. But overall, I don't think the mustard drill's that bad on MSC. Compared to what I've said, in my opinion, utilize the time in a room to take care. We were putting away luggage. We were like, hey, we
are watching and doing our things, and then you have to wait until your deck get called.
So that was a mustard drill.
Yeah, because you get to your room a few minutes before. So.
Yeah. Roberta, what do you think about the pool deck on MSC? I almost said Meraviglia. That was the last one we did over a year ago. Seashore, MSC Seashore. How'd you like the pool deck?
So there was actually the jungle pool, which was our favorite.
Yeah, there was 3 kind of pool areas.
Yes. So you have the lower level, which was like the adult only.
Oh yeah, there was an adults only area.
Correct.
That was, I think, deck 8 maybe, but yeah, one of the lower decks, adult lower only. They had like the infinity pool.
Yes,
it was in the aft.
It was really cool. Really,
it was nice.
Yes,
yeah,
it was really
nice.
cool.
Had bars there and everything.
So we have like the jungle pool, which was our favorite spot.
That was like every cruise ship. Roberta, we always find a spot we love the best.
Yeah.
Usually on Royal, a lot of times it's the Promenade Caf, right?
Yes. Yeah,
or it's just a place that, let's go here. We love it.
Yes. Yeah.
On this cruise, it was the Jungle Pool.
Yeah.
The Jungle Pool has a retractable roof.
Yes.
So it's climate control. It was themed great.
Yes.
The lounges were comfortable. It was basically kind of indoor outdoor, but there was shade everywhere in there. You could find plenty of shade. There was a bar.
Yeah.
And the marketplace buffet was right there.
Right there. So you can just grab food and come over.
Yeah. So, and it had beverage service there, which was excellent.
Yes.
We got, we made friends. There's always a server, a bar service person that we become friends with. And they just keep coming, hey, what's up,
And we ended up talking and find out about like where they are from and all that. Was cool,
So that was nice.
Yeah, so the jungle pool, which was our favorite spot.
Oh, it was great.
Negative about the jungle pool was not enough loungers. So they are very limited. It gets busy and you cannot find spots sometimes. So, but
they had the lounges and they had like couches and tables. So sometimes we had to kind of use a table or a couch rather than be able to kind of be on a lounge.
Yeah, but it was okay.
We always did end up finding a place.
Yeah.
But that was by far my favorite pool. Then they had the kids, the water slides and
the water. Man. Yeah, that area is really cool.
The water park area we'll call it. So it's kind of themed like with the big octopus coming out. It had like
really cool.
the bridges. It had 3 or 4 different water slides.
Yes.
Had water features, that kids could play in. That was good pretty much for any age. Correct. I mean, I went in there and hung out and played around.
Yeah, and talking about the pool decks also, we're going to talk about the outside too, but you have the hot tubs inside. You have hot tubs by the outside of the spa.
Yeah, so deck 8 had a lot of different hot tubs.
So you have hot tubs in a lot of different areas.
Of the pool.
You have
the ship.
You have one by the kids area where the water park is.
Yeah.
One of the
decks. It was up 18, I think. 18.
Yeah, so you have another one in there. If you watch our vlogs,
watch our vlogs, guys. You'll be able to really see an immersive adventure on this ship.
Yeah, so and then
lots of hot tubs actually now.
The outside pool deck. What is
the Long Island pool?
Long Island pool, yes.
That was the basically the outdoor pool, the main pool, we'll call that. One negative about that, no shade really at all out there.
Yes.
Very small area by the bar. There was a bar there. But that was all like you had pure sun on you there all day.
Correct, yeah.
They had those nice kind of like those beds right on the
which
on
is
the
that
pool.
one's a complimentary one, but it's a first come first serve, so it's not easy to.
And when there was entertainment going on out there, like it got busy.
Yeah,
that was a very busy area.
Yeah.
One thing I did like though about this MSC cruise was it felt like we didn't have to wait a long time to find the drink services.
Yes.
The service improved a lot.
A lot. But it's still limited.
Still not as, like, Royal to me is still
number one.
Number one. When you're at the pool, there's somebody there nonstop.
Most of the bars that we noticed, it was max like 3 people we would see at the same time, and normally around 2 people.
You mean working?
Yes.
Yeah, bartenders.
So he ended up getting limited and serving outside of the bar, normally 1 or 2 people running.
Yeah.
So it was very limited.
You had to have some patience.
Yeah, you had to wait a little bit, but was still a lot better than Maravilla.
Oh, it was still a lot better.
It's still a lot better than Maravilla.
And during when they were doing some of the peak entertainment things like parties out there, they would set up those little like sidebars.
Yeah, sidebars, which was really good.
That would help. So I think MSC in the last little over a year from our first time on MSC, they have listened to their passengers. Yes. And they've done a lot of improving on that.
I like the fact that they were doing trivia outside.
Yeah, they did.
But I wish it would be more.
Yeah, they didn't. They
didn't have much in the pool deck. I wish it would be more.
They had. Let's think. They had
Embarkation,
Sail Away.
Sail Away party.
They had a white party that was at night,
which was really cool.
But they have a big screen out there, and there was never anything on it.
Correct. It was was no movie.
There was never a movie or a videos of anything.
So
the only time I ever saw it in use was for the visual trivia. Like it was like geography trivia. I guess there
was a couple of other trivias too, but it was neat. I liked the fact that they had trivia outside.
Yeah.
So it was cool, and I wish they had more entertainment outside on a pool deck.
Yeah, that's true. So that kind of a negative. I think they could have done like dancing out there with DJs. There wasn't really a lot of live music out there either.
No, correct. Yeah. So
only during like the specialty parties, and actually it was just DJ.
Yeah. So, but talking about, there's two things in there that kind of go together a little bit. The service. Oh my God, the service, everybody was wicked nice. The service, the service in general.
It got so much better.
I think one thing we noticed, was a lot of people that didn't have much experience, I think, on cruising, but it didn't take it away from them having good customer service.
It would just, if you're a good person, you're a good person, right?
Yeah, so it was
just happy people,
correct,
nice people.
Happy people, but you can see they didn't have much of experience. But I think they don't take it away from,
good. Everywhere, pretty much. I can't really think of anything really like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened.
Yeah, so, and also talking about entertainment, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on lounges.
Oh yeah, there was lots of things. There was game shows.
Yes.
There was music all over.
Yes.
The cabaret theater where there was
cool.
just all kinds of stuff going on, trivias and little acts. Like they had they'd play, a band would play 20 minutes and a guy would come out and he'd like be a magician, and then somebody else would come out and sing. Then another guy would come out and like do tricks and it was great. That was a great place, a cabaret.
Yes.
I think that was deck 7 or 8. Yeah. All the way in the aft, and it was beautiful in there.
It was beautiful.
That was another favorite spot.
Yeah.
Couple spots.
Yes, but then we talk about the main shows.
Yeah, the main theater.
Show, the main theater.
I'm gonna say that. Well, one thing is no beverage service. Yeah. And you cannot drink.
Which was strange because they do have cup holders.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't know. But anyway, for our cruise, the first night there was people in there drinking, and I'm like, oh, I guess you can drink in here. Then the second night they're like, no drinking.
No drinking, yeah. Like second night.
There is actually a bar in there too that they don't use, and there's drink holders, but there's no servers, and you cannot drink in there.
Cannot drink it, yeah.
And the overall entertainment in there was just average, okay.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I think they need to. The rest of the entertainment was really cool. Yeah. I think we felt like it was neat, and everybody had a lot of fun.
There was a lot of little pop-up, like pianos, like around in the ship, in the clubs, in the bars, and while you're walking around, it was a lot of really cool little entertainment. But the main
theater, I think it's very comparable to Miravita. I don't think they put much time and effort into it.
Yeah.
So in terms of comparing to the other ones, I think that, again, like Disney has like a Broadway style show, which comparing to even like The Wish and The Dream, I still bring it back. The Dream was actually my favorite in terms of theater show.
Oh, Beauty
The Dream,
and the Beast.
yes, it was amazing. Great. But then after
Aladdin was good too, though.
Yes, Aladdin was very good. But then again, I think Royal Caribbean is still
does a good job.
Does a very good job. Like.
Yeah, their ships are there's a lot of good variety. They have the ice skating. They have, on the big Oasis class ships, you get Broadway and you just get like singing and things. Yeah. So I definitely agree. Overall, I love Royal's entertainment the best.
Yes, and I think MSC, I think they need to put a little bit more attention into that.
I did like the fact that there was, when you were going around a ship, there was always a little entertainment. It was a band here or a trivia over there or a game show. There was a lot to do on the ship.
Yes.
So that was a big plus.
Yes.
Definitely a big plus. Let's talk about food maybe. Overall food.
So food, I really liked the food.
Yeah, the food was good on the ship, really man. Good. Yeah, overall, I agree.
Yeah, I think I didn't like my first meal on the main dining.
Oh, yeah. We only went to the main dining one time out of 4 nights.
Because we really liked the buffet there.
I love the Marketplace buffet.
The Marketplace was really
Jay
good.
Couldn't get enough of the pizza.
Yes.
I never saw Jay eat so much pizza.
But he had a lot of food in there. It was just like trying new things, and it was really good.
We always love to do that when we cruise, is take a chance. And we actually did a specialty dining.
We did, which I really liked it.
Yeah,
I really liked it, yes. And it was not expensive. expensive.
No, my recommendation is do not do the all you can eat. Yeah, it was like $19 or $20, but you could just order things for $3 and $4.
Correct. Unless if you
get the package, I think.
Correct.
You can add it in, but
you can add it in the package. Yeah, and then it didn't cost so much. And plus, we were eating all day long to begin with.
Yeah, so we didn't need a lot of food.
Correct. So we were more for trying, like, was cool. But like in terms of the specialty dinings, they did have other locations.
Yeah, they had a lot of specialty dining on this ship.
We didn't try it.
Just Ola was in there.
Yes. But the food was really good.
We did use the main dining room for lunches and for breakfast. So they have breakfast and lunch in the main dining room. And it was good. Our dinners, though, just the first night we did main dining, and we were just utilizing the marketplace buffet because the food was pretty good in there.
Yes. One thing I have to say, marketplace dessert.
No, the desserts aren't great on MSC. No.
But on a main dining, they were. Main dining,
maybe.
They were. Yes,
I really like Royal's desserts. I like Disney's desserts.
Yes.
One thing though, your cruise fare does not include a lot of food on this ship.
Yes, that's
it's basically the main dining room that's included. Also, if you want my time dining, you got to be a certain level of yacht club or I think it's called Aurora or something like that. I can't remember, but there's 2 classes of cabins you need to book to have the my time dining. That's a certain dining room where you can kind of go in when any time. The other time you'd be assigned like us. We had Fantastica, I think, or something, which included breakfast though.
Yes,
in our cabin, a continental breakfast. So we would get that and then go to breakfast later, a little bit late, but.
Yeah.
When it came to the food that was included, it was a marketplace buffet.
Yes.
And it was the
main dining.
That was it.
Yeah, like,
I'm trying to think of anywhere else that had little snacks, but I can't.
No. But again, that's a very negative because sometimes like comparing again to Royal Caribbean,
Royal, and even Disney.
Yes,
Disney has lots of the whole thing outdoor in the pool.
Yeah, and plus if you are sitting in the bar in Disney, they will bring you snacks.
Yeah, they'll bring you snacks.
If you're drinking in a bar.
So that is a negative about
and
MSC.
The same thing, if you do not have a drink package, same thing. You have to. The only place that you're gonna get it is at the marketplace.
That we learned from our first time.
Yes.
If you don't have a drink package, you have to go to the marketplace buffet to get your drink. That brings me to a positive. The drink package on MSC is awesome.
Yes.
It was great. We had an Easy Plus. It included, what they do is they don't, it was just anything under $10 was included.
Correct. So
and if it was over 10, you just would pay the difference.
And we was a package that we got when we first booked.
It was a good package. We had the internet and the Easy Plus drinking for an extra. It was included in the cabin for an extra $300.
If you're new to our channel, we do not drink alcohol. So
no, I don't. I don't drink.
We're not drinking. So for us, that one under $10 was really good.
Comparable to the refreshment package on Royal, which we love.
And talking about that, a lot of mocktails.
A
lot, and they were good.
They were good. No, they were good, man.
And especially like with our friend server, when they get to know you, and it's like. Another one is like, so
they know what you like, and do you want to do that? And then they would suggest, hey, try this one, try that one.
Yeah,
so we had a few favorite wines.
Yes.
And Jake loves it.
Because we had the same server. We had the same server that we had at
outside and the island.
And the island.
That's where we met him.
Correct. Yeah.
What was his name? Juan? I can't remember his name though. That's the bad part. I can't remember his name.
But normally we write it down when we put.
It's from the Philippines, I remember.
Yeah.
Because we love the Philippines on Medling World.
Yeah. So we had a lot of fun, and we met all the people to an island that works on the ship.
Yeah.
So
because that was funny because we're at the Lighthouse Bar outside, and that's where we met. I believe it was Juan. I'm trying to think, but. Yeah, and then we were on the ship the next day in the jungle pool. It was him again and again. Yeah. And then he's like our friend.
And then it was the other pool.
Everywhere we were, there he was. Yeah, hey,
Talking about one thing about the pool deck that I forgot it is, so you have your towels, pool towels, at your stateroom. So when you actually first get there, you have your towels. You have to bring them with you. You can exchange them at the pool. But you have to make sure that you bring it back to your room.
Or you will get charged.
So if you want to change, you just put it on the floor so your room attendant will, they will know that you want a new one, so he will exchange it for you.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to just let them dry and, put it hanging. It's
fine.
Not.
It's just remembering that, because when we first went to the pool, we didn't bring the towels. We were like, oh yeah, they're in the room. Because
on the cruise ship, you just get at the pool. So that one is a little bit different than. But so we're talking about the service, was
the food, the drinks. We got, we covered a lot so far.
So yeah, I think the food was the main thing for us. And the ice cream, the only place you're gonna find ice cream.
Included ice cream. Marketplace.
It's a marketplace. Buffet. The other locations, it's an extra charge.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places with extra charge in it.
There's a lot, There's a lot of upcharges. They had that really nice, that chocolate place with all the specialty drinks.
You can get soda, a couple drinks in there, with your drink package. But it's like specialty coffees and things like that. It's extra charge.
I'll tell you though, the marketplace buffet, the service in there was great. They had people coming around that would bring you the drinks. Correct. There's a bar in there as well. There's a bar. And they would do a pop-up bar when it was busy. So you could either walk up, get a bar, get a beverage, or they would come right to the table. They kept coming around, and they have a cool little call button.
Yes.
It's like you hit it, and then they would come over.
Yes.
So it was really good. Their service in that marketplace buffet was great, man.
Yes.
Very great. Very comparable, that area, to Royal.
Correct. So
that was great.
A couple of things also about the marketplace, like allergies, it's very good with allergy. Even like shampoo in a room, there is a list.
Oh yeah, they're very serious. They got better with their allergy.
All the ingredients, They
did a good job.
Every food they have in there, especially.
Oh yeah, that was.
They would have a list of all the ingredients in there.
Right there, like you would go up and it would be a certain chicken. It would list all the things that was in there. So if you were allergic, like Roberta sesame, it would tell you, okay, there's no sesame I can eat. So it made it a lot easier.
Correct, but it's still the chef. If you can talk to, they will still bring you around, which they did with me. But they say it's very normally clear, especially if you have more.
It is very clear.
Yeah, if you have a little bit more, like if you gluten, for an example, then you probably a little bit more detail.
Yeah, right.
But in my case, my case was very, I could read it, and seafood, so I could see it. Yeah, exactly.
So that was a very positive.
Very positive. And another thing it is, people that watch our channel knows like Jake has sensory issues.
Yeah.
A lot of places, I did believe it was very loud. So Jake was wearing sometimes
his noise canceling headphones.
Sensories. And
we do get a lot, we get a lot of questions about that, or comments. Why is he wearing headphones? Jake is autistic.
Correct.
He's very high functioning. Yes. He's had lots of therapies. A lot of times you wouldn't even know.
Yes.
But he still is on the spectrum, so there's a lot of things that can bother him and trigger him. And he wears, when you see those headphones,
there's no music, there's no nothing.
90% of the time, it's just on
noise
there.
Canceling.
And he's not listening to anything except.
And we are not sponsored by Sony, by the way.
No.
But that's actually one of his favorite.
And it just helps calm him. It keeps him calm, because what it does is he can still hear us, but it keeps a lot of those
extra noises.
Say there's silverware going, or maybe a younger child that's kind of upset, things like that. Jake, he will get a little bit of frustration, and he's come a long way with it. He wears them a lot less now.
I think one day we're gonna talk about specific about that, but
just
for
in
people
general,
that don't know and see Jake nowadays, Jake was actually diagnosed on severe
when he was 5.
Yes, so it was a very but I think that's like another thing.
Yeah, I don't want to start talking about all that, but the point is, he uses a lot of for sensory issues, but also for just accessibility in general. I did not think that MSC was very accessibility friendly. That's you mean for people that maybe use
like
a chair and
or
things
like
like
a
that.
Scooter.
Yeah.
The elevators, they were not. It's hard to, because you have to.
Yeah, because a few times there was people in chairs, and
especially if you have mobility issues, then it's if you have a hard time going up and down stairs, you have to wait for the elevator for a long time. And also, like the jungle pool didn't have it was the chair for you to be able to access.
That's true.
And there's nothing.
There's no lift to go into the pool. There's no lift.
There's no ramp. So, like for an example, Royal Caribbean, they have that
they have a zero entry. One of the pools is zero entry.
On one of the Oasis class ships. So they have the chair. And this one,
Royal does a good job.
Very good job. So I think that
Disney does.
The both main pools. I didn't if I remember good, they did have a ramp on the outside pool, the Long Island pool.
Island, yeah.
Correct. They did have a ramp, but I think there was a little
overall, yeah, it's not very accessible ship if you're in a chair. There's a lot of places you'll be able to go, but when you're trying to kind of move up and down areas, in some of the lounges, it could be difficult. What else, Roberta?
So I think that covers the entertainment. We talked about the service.
I have a couple notes.
Yes.
So another thing that came to my mind, which I forgot to mention when we're talking about the drinks.
Yes.
This is a negative, but it's also cultural. So it's we understand.
Yes.
MSC is it's a Mediterranean. You know, it's a European cruise ship. They are starting to become much more popular here in the United States. So they're incorporating a lot of the cultures that we have in our country. But there's a couple things. The slides in the main pool, the slides in the kids area, there's also an age restriction as well as height.
Height restriction and age.
So it was, I think it was 7.
7 and 8, I think.
7 years old or 8 years old, and you have to meet the height. So you could be 6 and meet the height, but you couldn't go on a slide if you weren't 7.
Yeah.
So that's a couple things that's a lot different in this country. Usually with theme park rides, it's height.
Height, yeah.
So that was something very different. Keep that in mind.
Yes.
Also, the drinks. A lot of the drinks would come out at room temperature. Yes. Like if you got a bottle of water, if you got a can of something.
Yeah.
If you basically ordered something that didn't have ice in it, it was room temperature most of the time.
Yes.
So also keep that in mind. So good idea to can you bring me a cup of ice?
Yes.
Now, I'm usually not so picky about stuff like that, but it was actually, sometimes it was warm. Like, it wasn't even like a little cold.
Yes.
So,
but if you drink like special drinks, sometimes he will get a soda, and then it will be at room temperature.
Yeah.
And
So you might want to, those are a couple negative things, but I mean, not so much negative. It's just that's just how it is. And I was educated on that from people from the country that left me some comments to say, hey, in Europe.
And yes, by the way, thank you for the comments. We read them. We appreciate for them.
Try to respond to all of them that I can.
Yeah.
I think most of them.
And this video, by the way, is so late. We have a lot of schedule conflict.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were saying, when is this video coming out?
Yeah, so
Roberta, you're doing a great job on this video. Less talk of me and more of Roberta. And I think I'm being very disciplined on this video, guys. So how about a thumbs like and a subscribe? What's a couple other things let's talk about? There was something else.
We do have to talk about disembarkation.
Disembarking the ship.
It's okay. Okay. So they pretty much force you out of your room by 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah, you got to be out of your room.
Your room attendants will be very clear.
He could have been your best friend for the 3 days.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
7 o'clock.
It's time for you to go.
Even though he was very nice about us too.
And we got out at about 6:58.
That causes another problem.
Yes.
Because around that time, everybody is trying to get the elevator, which you already had an issue to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
But then everybody goes to their waiting area after breakfast, waiting for disembarking the ship in your time. But then again, you feel like it's crowded. So then everybody's there on the atrium or whatever your area they're waiting for, because you can't be in a room, which is understandable, because it's understandable.
They gotta clean the room.
They have to clean the room, but I think they would have to be more
stagger it.
Correct.
Well, Disney does the best at disembarking.
Yes.
Disney does it best because it goes by your dining time. If you have the early dining, you leave your room early.
Yes.
If you have the late dining, you leave late. And it's relaxed. You get to go and sit down and have a breakfast. So you got half and half to ship.
And then it goes by colors, you have Donald Duck, blue. That's what we had. And then go by colors. And then you will call, okay, this color could disembark right now.
Yeah.
So I think it will make it a lot easier. But we saw the big line. At first it was scary because it was what is this line? Everybody's going. But then when we realized, when they open up, it was 2 exits and it was very quick. And make sure you settle your bills before you leave.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, you have to go back.
Now, when Roberta's talking about waiting area, that's if you put your luggage out the night before, there's certain time depending on what deck you're on, that luggage will be available for you through customs or before you get to customs. Because it's a limited space.
It's very limited. Actually, that's the smaller, I think, the one we see.
So what would happen is certain decks would leave, let's say, 8 to 8:30. Then other decks would leave 8:30 to 9. Then other ones 9 to 9:30. Because of the way that they have to disperse the luggage.
Yes.
Or, you know, what we do, we take our own luggage off the ship. It's called Express. Then you can leave right after you eat breakfast. You just go off.
You just go on.
And like the line was just, it's all over. You're going upstairs, and then all of a sudden you're done.
And
it was very weird.
And there was no crew members. There was no crew members
until
directing.
you got to the end of the line, but everybody's like, where are we going? You know? So it becomes like, you know how it is. Something about lines, everybody has to be
because then you have the people coming from the elevator, you have the people coming from the stairs, and everybody's meeting, and then there's no crew member. I'm sorry, team member. There's no crew members that going around.
So that was a negative. The disembarking was a negative.
Yes.
So my advice is, if you can, again, do the Express. Just take your own luggage off. Then you don't have to look for it. You can just wheel out and get a passport if you can. It's so easy now with passports,
face recognition, right? At least right here in Florida.
And Port Canaveral is. We've been on 7 or 8 cruises out of there.
Yeah. So, and also the disembarking drink package, it does work.
Yeah, your drink package. So if the Easy Plus drink package will work that morning, so you could go up to the bar and get a drink or whatever.
Correct.
Worked at breakfast. We got a couple Pellegrinos.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much covers a lot of that cruise.
Yes.
That was a very detailed what we like and
which
didn't
was
like.
very, very different. Again, very different from Meraviglia. We have.
That's what we can talk about now.
Yes.
It's just a couple,
an island,
4 or 5 minutes of just
quick about the island. We haven't talked about the island.
Yeah, Ocean Key there.
I think we are planning to do.
Go ahead.
We're planning to do maybe like a 3 island comparison.
Yeah, so I look forward to doing that 3 island comparison.
Yes.
Talk about all 3 islands. That would be a good vlog too if you're kind of deciding if that's an important part of cruising.
Yes, correct. Yes.
For us, we don't usually get off the ship a lot and do a lot of these big excursions. So for us, private islands are important.
Yeah.
Because that is something we always enjoy on all our cruises is when we go to a private island. We can even do a little bit of Labadee. We've been to Labadee too.
Oh yeah, it's true.
We can do Labadee. So we'll do 4. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Roberta, where do you rank this cruise?
It's hard, but I would say it's...
Well, let's do it kind of like this. Would it be in your upper or your lower or in the middle? Where would you put your MSC Seashore cruising experience all combined together? This one cruise, I would all the aspects of it.
I said mid-high.
I agree.
Mid-high. Jake really enjoyed it too, by the way.
I don't know if my expectation was so low, because it was. I had a very low. The price point was so great.
Yes.
We talked about this, I think, in the vlog.
Yeah.
That we could have done almost 3 of these.
Yes. For one price.
We could have done 3 4-night cruises on MSC for 1 3-night cruise on the Wish.
Yeah.
And now I wish I would have done that, because the Wish to me was not one of my favorite cruises, but it was one of the most expensive. Actually, I think it's the most expensive cruise we ever went on.
Yeah.
And that might have factored into it. But this cruise here for me, Roberta, it's up. It's right up there.
Because I think that I think for this specific cruise for MSC, first was it completely different from Meraviglia, talking about that again. So we had so much fun, but at the same time, I felt like it was good to relax. But it was a way to relax that was like, I didn't feel like that in the other cruise lines.
That's true.
For some reason.
I don't know. I think the room had a lot to do with it, and staying over the island for a night. I think it just had so much to do with the relaxing.
This cruise, exactly, was relaxing, but at the same time, we had so much to do and we had so much fun.
We had fun together with Jake. Jake was really independent on this cruise, if you watched. This is really the first time he kind of went by himself a few times. He made friends.
Yeah, so it was for us.
This was really a good cruise. But still, overall, I love Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, and
Royal Caribbean is still my favorite cruise line. Quick note too,
we can't say much about the kids club because Jake doesn't really.
He doesn't. And that's part of what we're talking about with sensory and things. He doesn't feel very comfortable in there.
Yeah.
He's tried to go to kids clubs in the past, but he kind of comes out quick.
Yeah.
And we support that, you know, because we're his parents and we understand Jake better than anybody else. We don't want him to be in a situation because we feel like, oh, that's very important, that you should be in there with other kids. Is it important? Yes, but if you're uncomfortable, that's not right.
When he felt comfortable making some friends in this time, and
he knows how to socialize. That's what he's doing right now with his friends, playing games and stuff. So I just really enjoyed this cruise.
I think it was mid-high. Jake really enjoyed also. Mid-high. I think after this one, I would say we'll definitely be back to MSC.
I would say if you're on the fence and you're thinking, this particular ship, I think,
that's
if
you
open mind, be open minded and have some patience. You have to have patience with MSC.
Yes.
If you don't have patience and you're not open minded, you won't like it.
I don't know about the smaller ones, but this mega ship, yes.
This was a fun cruise.
I do think the MSC has a lot of improvements to it.
It's gotten better.
Yes, but
there's still some more to improve. Yes. I think they need to add in a little bit of where you can kind of hang out and be able to grab a snack.
Correct.
I don't think
a couple of things like that. I think,
and that's why Royal to me is still better.
Yes,
Royal, even on their smaller ships we've been on.
Yes,
there's several included areas you can go. Yeah. There's a little bit better entertainment.
Yeah,
there's a lot more going on the pool deck. That's why to me, so far, I mean, we've only done 3 different cruise lines.
Yes.
But Royal has been several cruises.
Yes, which we really enjoy. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be back.
I'd go back again. So I think if you're thinking about
mega ship.
This is a big ship.
Yes,
big ship.
I'll definitely be back to probably a mega ship. I don't know about that.
I think they have a new one coming. The American or something it's called. It's going to be out of Miami.
We have our eyes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
We have our eyes on a few more cruises coming up.
Yes.
At some point, we'd like to branch out on some of these other cruises, but for us, you know, Royal is still number 1.
Yes.
I think we all agree on that.
Yes, yeah.
And one of my favorite cruises, just personally, has been Oasis of the Seas. Yeah. The original Oasis class ship. Really to me, it has so far been one of my favorites. Right up there.
Yeah, it's hard to pick.
It is hard to pick because every cruise, if you go in with an open mind, and now that we have experience with cruising, I kind of call it freestyle cruising.
Yeah. We
find the things we want to do and then base eating around that.
Yeah, we just have fun. Yeah, we just have fun. Enjoy. And after you let the first impression, you know, and then you really stop to think about the cruises that you did, it's hard to pick your favorite because it's so much to enjoy and it's different things to enjoy.
You're right. You know, it is hard to pick your favorite.
It's hard.
Maybe really because of the and that one was out of Miami, so I think we had to drive to it, and maybe it felt a little different.
Yes.
But I just was like, wow, this is so cool and so fun.
But this one I would definitely put mid-high.
Oh, mid-high for sure. Guys, thank you so much for watching Medling World. Please take a moment, subscribe to Medling World if you haven't yet. Roberta, any last thoughts? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, any questions, leave it in the comments.
Leave us in the comments.
Yes. Yeah.
And last but not least, see ya!